If you've been listening to my podcast for very long, and this is Mike Adams here, you probably share something in common with me in that we both recognize that we live in a world where most people are unaware of the very large threats that they face. Many threats. Collapse, for example, financial collapse, we know that's coming, but also now the new authoritarian speech police threat, the techno-tyranny that is now descending upon us. This is a threat to our civil society. It's a threat to the sustainability of human civilization. I mean, we are watching the rolling out of an authoritarian techno-tyranny society. It's happening so rapidly now with not just the banning of Alex Jones, which has been in the news a lot recently, but now, did you know that YouTube is putting pop-up messages to interrupt your viewing of videos that talk about climate change? So if the video doesn't conform 100% to the official view on climate change, then there's a pop-up message that says, oh, global warming is horrible, it's caused by mankind, or maybe they use the term humankind, I don't know. And, it's like now you can't even say something about atmospheric science without being censored or interrupted or corrected, like a mandatory correction. Like anything you utter now it's moderated in real time. I don't know if you knew this, but on YouTube live streams, did you know that they are listening to the words that people say in real time? And if they don't like what you're saying, if you say certain keywords, like you talk about certain false flag shootings or certain things like climate change or what have you, they will cut off your live stream in real time. I mean, how insane is that? This is Orwellian beyond belief. I mean, this is 1984. This is absolute mind control, speech control. You got the speech police now, policing everything you say. Well, guess what? Most people are asleep. Most people, and by most people, I mean, let's just take a guess, 98% have no clue that this is really happening, or they're not thinking about the consequences of it. They're not fully aware or alerted to what this means for society. They don't realize they are now growing older in a society that's going to become an authoritarian fascist regime of speech police and mind control. And in fact, many of the people living in this system right now alongside us, many of these people are themselves demanding this authoritarianism. They're demanding the crackdown on freedom of speech. They are the speech police. I mean, they demand that people be silenced if they don't like them. They're running an online lynch mob. They're cry bullies, and they don't realize what they're setting into motion. And I pray for them, frankly. I mean, I condemn their actions, but at the same time, I pray for them because they are creating, well, really another Third Reich. I mean, just go back in history. You look at World War II and the rise of Adolf Hitler. Never forget that Hitler was popular in his day to his people. He was popular. He had 90% of the population along with him, angry, seething, running the brown shirts that run around and beat people up, just like Antifa today. The rise of Adolf Hitler is being recreated now with the rise of the intolerant, hate-filled left. They are in parallel. It looks almost exactly the same, if you ask me. So we are seeing authoritarianism on parade. We are seeing the worst chapters of human history now being repeated. And make no mistake that if the intolerant left gets into power, they will demand the mass execution of conservatives in another rerun of the Holocaust. They will commit a Holocaust against conservatives and libertarians. They want it. They demand it. They're out for blood. They're seething with anger and hatred. These people are dangerous. And yet, as I opened this with, perhaps 98% of the population is sleepwalking through life, asleep at the wheel, zombified. They don't know what's happening, and they're not really interested in being free as much as they are interested in being comfortable. They just want to be comfortable. They don't want to be criticized by their friends. They don't want to sound too fringe. They don't want to be condemned for sharing the link to this podcast or another podcast like this. They just want to fit in. They just want to get along. Don't rock the boat. Just like the Nazi party members in Germany in, let's say, 1941. Didn't want to rock the boat. They just went along with it. Oh, this is popular. This is popular. And they worshiped the Fuhrer, and they worshiped the Nazi party, and they joined up. Oh, they were told all these promises that they're going to create kingdom, heavenly kingdom on earth for 1,000 years. It's going to be Hitler's vision, they said, they were told, of this wonderful society. But in order to get there, they just have to murder about 6 million Jews in the meantime. But that was okay with most of the people, you see. They went along with that, no problem. Why? Because they were riled up into a state of hatred by Adolf Hitler himself, who was sort of the CNN of his day. Today, Brian Stelter serves that function, or what's the guy's name? The other guy that screams at Trump in the press conferences, Acosta. Yeah. Jim Acosta? Accosted? What is it? Anyway, whoever that guy is, what a moron. He's serving the role of Adolf Hitler in our modern day society. He and Brian Stelter and others just pushing anger and rage, driving everybody to a state of violent insanity while claiming to be creating a utopian society rooted in equality and fairness as they pound people on the head and call for people to be murdered. This is the left. So never forget that. You are living in this system right now. You're watching it unfold, and all the good voices are being censored. All the people who could help society, like myself, are being censored. I mean, think about what is the core of my message over all these years. Stop poisoning yourself. Have healthy food. Eat organic. Have longevity. Exercise. Get vitamin D. Prevent cancer. Right? Live in a free society. Support innovation. Be more self-reliant. Grow some of your own food. Teach your children to be adaptable and intelligent. This is my core message. It's been consistent for, 15, 20 years, something like that. And yet I'm one of the voices that is heavily, heavily censored in modern society. While people who are calling for murdering Trump, they're not censored at all. So the more censored a person is today, probably the more good they are as a general principle. There are exceptions to it, but by and large, that's the case. And those who are calling for censorship are themselves the evil fascists who are walking in the footsteps of Adolf Hitler. Think about that and spread the word and use my platform, Real.video, which is the alternative to YouTube. Free speech is protected there. Real.video, now serving 1.5 million video minutes per week with over 10,000 videos on board already and more every day. So check it out at Real.video. This is Mike Adams. Thanks for listening.
Learn more at healthrangerreport.com.
Thank you for watching. If you want to support our mission, visit us at healthrangerstore.com for the world's largest selection of lab-verified superfood and nutritional products for healthy living. It's at healthrangerstore.com.